Hey guys, and welcome back to another video with Raf Gaming. Tomorrow, Tom Clancy's The Division 2 is making its way to Stadia, and here's everything you need to know about it. And whilst you're here, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let's get to it. The Division games were developed by Massive Entertainment and Ubisoft, then published by Ubisoft. The Division uses the game engine Snowdrop, which was created by Massive Entertainment. They began developing the engine in 2009 with the intent to do things better, not bigger. The engine is capable of a node-based scripting system that links all areas from rendering AI mission scripts to user interface, realistic day and night change, global volumetric lighting, procedural destruction, advanced particle system and visual effects, and dynamic material shaders. Massive Entertainment created a lighting and destruction system inspired by film production techniques. Division was the first game to use this engine. Tom Clancy's Division currently consists of two games, The Division, released in 2016, and The Division 2, released in 2019. We're here to talk about The Division, so let's get down to it. The Division 2 is an online action role-playing game played from a third-person perspective. It can also be described as a shooter-looter. You can play alone or alongside 3 other friends. There's also a raid mode in which allows for 8 people to play together in 2 teams of 4. It was released March the 15th, 2019, so if my math is correct, we're getting this game a year and 2 days after it was originally released. The Stadia version of Division 2 stands out from the rest for having a Stadia-only feature called Stream Connect, which allows you to have a smaller version of your teammate's screen on your screen, giving you that edge and advantage in-game. The Stadia version also supports crossplay and progression with PC, making it the first and only versions to implement these features. Crossplay is going to be the key in making this game successful. What do I mean by this? Crossplay allows you to play alongside others in an already thriving environment, meaning you won't have to worry about people being on just the Stadia servers, but will be connected in a network as big and vast as the PC. The game is set in a world devastated by a green poison created from a strain of smallpox, engineered and released in New York City by an environmental villain, resulting in casualties and disorder on a global scale. As the world descends into chaos, the United States awaken sleeper agents called Strategic Homeland Division, SHD, or simply the Division. To preserve order and continuity of government, Division 2 takes place in Washington DC 7 months after the events in Division 1. You start your game by creating your own Division agent, customizing their gender and appearance. You are then thrown into the story by trying to make your way to the White House, but first you must get rid of the people barricading it. You're equipped with firearms, grenades and medikits. Once you make it into the White House, you are briefed and given a special skill of your choice. From there on, you are left with an open world that you can explore the city and help settlements flourish. You can follow the story or complete the side missions in any way you find fit. Mission and side missions are assigned to different research factions in the White House. The world is broken up into different areas, each with different level enemies and enemy factions. Completing these missions help you gain XP points and find/reward you with loot. Missions are separated by 2 categories. One is given by civilian settlements and the other by the Division in the White House. Alongside missions given by these 2 sources are side missions. Most of these missions require you to find people that allow you to open up more points in your settlements or the White House, which then also advances your research on these technologies. Stronghold and bounties. Working alongside missions are strongholds, which serve as much bigger missions with multiple bosses. There are only 3 strongholds in the main story, one representing each of the enemy factions in Washington DC, and would also act as the last missions of the Division 2, before progressing to the endgame. Bounties are high value targets. These are randomly generated, but as you progress throughout the game, you can discover connected bounties. These are bounties that, upon completion, unlock another bounty in a tree of sorts. Completing this chain will give you better rewards. Enemies. Enemies are grouped into different factions. The main factions in this game are the Hyenas, Outcasts, True Sons, Black Tusks, Hunters, and another, but I don't want to give that away too soon. These factions are the ones that play a major part in the game. Most of them compete for territory and control over the capital. Others are powerful enemies who can give a seasoned player a challenge. Then we have the minor enemies, raiders and ambushers. They don't compete for territory and they are relatively weak compared to the main factions. The Dark Zone. The Dark Zone is the only location in which players can roam solo or in a group in an openly player versus environment without limits. In the Dark Zone, players will be able to do challenges, find landmarks, take down enemy faction bosses for loot. Be careful killing other agents as you will receive a bounty on your head, making you become a high value target to other players. Skirmish. Skirmish is Division's only player v player mode. It is a 4x4 team deathmatch pitting 2 teams of 4 in a race to get 20 kills first. Raids. Raids can be done by up to 8 players, divided into 2 sub-teams of 4. Raids are much longer than any mission in Stronghold. Bosses are part of progressing in a raid, and each boss has their own encounter and objectives. Raids are the hardest content that players can face, in which they require preparation, communication, and teamwork to succeed. Only about 2,000 PC players and 400 console players defeated it so far. Weapons and gear. There are 7 different types of weapons you have access to at the beginning of the game. Assault rifles, marksman rifles, submachine guns, shotguns, light machine guns, sidearms, and rifles. You can have 3 weapons equipped at once, so that's 2 primary weapons and 1 secondary weapon, which is normally a sidearm. At the moment there are 11 exotic weapons that you can discover or purchase. Your gear is made up of 6 different pieces: masks, backpacks, vests, gloves, holsters, and knee pads. These items have a huge impact on your armor, health, and skill power. Weapons and gear are color coded for rarity. White is common, green is uncommon, blue is rare, purple is legendary, and yellow is exotic. Division 2 also has crafting stations which allow you to create weapons, gear, and other items, but you need to find blueprints and collect crafting materials by scavenging or deconstructing weapons. Abilities. There are 2 types of abilities, passive and physical. The passive abilities are perks that can be used in the main or dark zone. There are over 25 different perks between them that also have different levels to them. Here are a few of them to give you an idea. Increase max armor, increase inventory, increase loadouts, etc. Once you gain them, they stay with you. Then we have physical abilities, which act as your special skills. You can equip 2 of these at a time, and then add mods to make them unique to your playstyle. The abilities available are Pulse. The Pulse skill sends out a wave around the agent and can spot enemies, disrupt them, or confuse them out of their cover. Turret. The turret is a deployable device that will fire at enemies or an enemy of your choice. The Seeker Mine. The Seeker Mine is a deployable sphere that will move towards its target in order to complete its task or heal a team member. Ballistic Shield. The Ballistic Shield is just that, a shield. Chem Launcher. The Chem Launcher is a device that can shoot harmful or healing gas at its target. Drone. The drone is a deployable device that flies above the agent. It can be defensive or offensive. Firefly. The Firefly is a deployable device that flies to its designated target and deploys its cargo. Hive. The Hive is a deployable device that is thrown onto the ground. Once it hits the ground, it will deploy multiple machines that can heal or attack its target. The end game. Once you completed the game, the aim is to get to level 30. Upon reaching this level, you choose a specialization on which determines your build. There are 6 different kinds of specializations, and each specialization unlocks a new, unique signature weapon, unique skills related to the build, and a unique skill mod associated with the specialization build, and an exotic grenade exclusive to their class. Each specialization can be upgraded through activities, and each can be swapped out for each other as often as the player desires. The specialization skills introduced are Survivalist, Demolitionist, Sharpshooter, Gunner, Technician, and Firewall. Specializations will help with raids, skirmish, and other modes. There are so many other game modes such as Expedition, Classified Assignments, Manhunt, which add more lore to the growing vast world of Division 2. Also being able to find collectible items and clothing that you can use to change the appearance of your character. This game does have DLC. The Year 1 DLC includes 3 large content episodes that expand the story, 3 specializations that release alongside the episodes, and an 8-player raid. Then Year 2 DLC, starting with Warlords of New York that increase the level cap to 40, an extended endgame, new open world New York exotics, and Gears. The base game can range from $24.99 to $25.99. We know that there's going to be 3 different versions coming out on Stadia. So there will be the base, there will be a sort of a deluxe, and then there'll be an ultimate. But we'll find out tomorrow, or hopefully tonight, what that price will cost. The Division is a massive game and has so much potential. The developers are pumping more and more into this game as the year goes on, so I can't see this going anywhere soon. I can see that it's going to be one of my favourites for a long time. Will you be purchasing this game? Please let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a lovely day.